Hello everyone. Welcome to Lorenzo Data Solutions. My name is Anipe Abraham, SAP SuccessFactors consultant and a corporate trainer. So before I continue to explain in this short video, I want to say one thing that anything is explained in this particular short video. It is my own view or my opinion, and I don't represent anyone. So today, as we are in H1 2023 release, and I want to explain some of the enhancements, some of the deprecations, some of the early, enhancements. I want to explain to you about, for Employee Central. So I'm also going to explain the Employee Central into two parts, like part one, part two, like two short videos I'll be posting on my YouTube channel. And I'm sure that please go through these two short videos I'm going to post subsequently. So now this video is like a part one. Okay. So here, the first thing is, let us try to understand the schedule for H1 2023, which is a preview release is 28th of April 2023. And as everyone is aware, the production release takes place June 2nd, 2023. The first thing is, the enhancement I want to explain about event-based position follow-up process. We have something like, centralized services. What you can do on the position org chart, you can perform, like manager self-services on the position cards, the position follow-up, centralized services, which means like, for example, whenever you're going to transfer or you're going to, position deactivation, or maybe you want to, make certain changes for the job reclassifications, or, you know, suppose here are some of the examples. Whenever you perform on the position or chart for manager self-services, for example, terminating an employee. So what you can do, usually what happens now, you know, if suppose you are going to perform the centralized process activity, like a centralized services, sometimes there are possibilities you will get some errors. But still, what will happen? The system is going to save that activity successfully, and it is going to process the data. Okay. But in the background, for example, whenever there is an occur is going to happen, whenever there is an issue is going to takes place, still that particular record is saved. The record is going to be saved. But what will happen now? Once that action is taken as a manager self-services, email will be sent to the corresponding user who initiated it. And on the home page, we have something called admin alerts. We have on the admin center also, we have something called admin alerts. When you click on it, you have to go to the type called position follow-up process. So when you click on it, that will show you that why exactly the issue happened, all the certain information, and your administrator can take the action and fix the issues. So whenever there is some kind of like event based changes on the position org chart, the system still saves the record, but through an admin alerts, you can fix the issues. That is a one good thing, that you can see from this particular release and from the admin alerts. And what happens now? This particular activity improves the performance of the event-based actions, on the position follow-up activities. But in order to perform this, make sure that in your admin center that centralized services has been activated. And here are the few of the technical details I also posted. If you want to know, you can know it about this. The product is Employee Central, the technical reference number, and the feature is about the admin alerts and the position org chart. Okay, as an example, and version H1 2023, and it is going to be effective in the production system from June 2nd, 2023. So this is very interesting feature, but once that feature is enhanced, but remember, the customer can configure this functionality. This enablement, the customer has the ability to configure, right? And this is one of the major update that helps you. It's a very important feature, very interesting one. Now let me explain to you the another most important the major update for H1 2023 Employee Central, which is like country and region specific support for address information in person relationship and emergency contact. So now the system supports you that you can also configure the country specific information in a person relationship and emergency contact. But there is something you need to perform. I have given all the details here. So now you need to go on enable country specific support for address for the emergency contact and personal relationship import, where in the company system and logo settings page. But again, I want to tell you, these two settings have been renamed in the company system and logo settings as a enable country region specific support for address information in a personal relationship imports. So now it is no longer, it is going to affect your person relationship import and as well as for your emergency contact imports that are going to be initiated when you're going to import employee data. So now you can also configure like country specific information for a person relationship info, emergency contact, it is going to be supporting now. But previously what we used to do, you have to include country specific fields in the address information while you are performing import employee data, but now it is included automatically. So these are all the details, and how it is going to look like, you can see relationship type, everybody can see it now, country specific, and it is going to be included in the template like the home address and let us say the relationship type, address to, and etc. Now with regarding the emergency contact, you can see that as for the latest version, you can see the relationship type and related person ID external can be included, and you can also import the country specific. Here you can see the country, so that has to be selected here also, you can see it supports. Okay, so here are the some of the technical details I have clearly explained with every screenshot, and you can see it's Employee Central, it's highly recommended, and it is a minor enhancement. It is going to be effective from 23 2nd of June 2023. Okay, next very important feature that I want to explain to you, that is a scheduled job manager for import of the employee data. See, up to now what happened, while you are performing import employee data, you are having the monitor job, right? You are having the monitor job button. But now what SAP is going to do, they are deprecating, that means they are deleting, replacing that monitor job with a scheduled job scheduled job manager from the import employee data. So you can see it was like a scheduled job manager before, it was a monitor job. So please be aware about it, and this is how it looks like. So this scheduled job manager option, that it allows you directly from the import employee data, that will redirect to the scheduled job manager, where it was called before as a monitored job, but it is no longer as a monitored job, but it is a scheduled job manager. Make sure that everyone is aware about this particular feature. Very important, very important. Even one of my Employee Central class is recently completed also. I have informed you the same, and I have posted it here on the blog. And now you can see this module is employee data related. The product is Employee Central. And so it's one of the minor enhancement as for the deprecation. Now, let us try to understand the other update that I have posted here. That is, the business rules are supported by emergency contact information or emergency contact import. But this emergency contact imports with the rule event types, like you have on initiate, on view, on save, on change. There are a lot of rule events that SAP provided, but the business rule supports for the emergency contact imports. The rule events supports, one is on change, but remember, on change means it allows only the specific fields. Okay, only HRIS fields, not HRIS element. What about the on save? The fields, this is going to support HRIS element. So it's going to support even now when you're going to import. So this enhancement SAP provided, I'm sorry. So that it helps you to maintain the data quality and consistency across all the areas of the entire SuccessFactors system. Okay, so here are the few technical details, like product Employee Central and module, and which is like a personal information or mass changes, and the minor enhancement and etc. Okay, so, and I have one more update with the H1 2023 for Employee Central, which is association validation during the employee data import. For this is mostly for non-effectively dated entities, and I'm sure those who are watching that what do you mean by the effectively dated entities, non-effectively dated entities. That I always repeatedly said that some of the person objects are effectively dated, some of the person objects are non-effectively dated, some of the employment objects are effectively dated, non-effectively dated also. But here the non-effectively dated entities are going to be validated as for the field criteria associations when you are importing, whether the data has been configured as for the criteria or not. The system is going to validate for the non-effectively dated entities also. Okay, so here are the some of the non-effectively dated examples for the national ID card, phone information, email information, biographical information, employment details, emergency contact, and etc. So here I have given the example of like country and region, primary, the national ID as an example, and the kind of the type of the national ID, PAN, and person ID, the user ID of the employee, very similar to that. Department he belongs to, the division he belongs to. This is a sample example of the data that can be imported. The system is going to validate for the non-effectively dated associations are going to be done properly or not. And when you import, the system displays that national ID card is validated. Based on the sample data, the system shows you that the validated associations are missing, the dependent information is missing, and then accordingly you need to rectify and import the data, otherwise it will not support. And here are that why the issue is coming. Here I have given the solution here, and please kind of read it, and it helps you. And here are the technical details, what exactly these are all: Employee Central, employee data, and the minor enhancement, and version H1 2023. This is going to be effective from June 2nd 2023. So these are the few details I wanted to explain about some of the important updates on my personal website about Employee Central H1 2023 updates. This is something I have covered only part 1. I have a lot of other things I wanted to separately explain in another part 2 video. So I'm sure that those who are watching it is helpful to everyone. And finally, Thanks for watching, and see you all again next time.